Because that's what you do when you become a head. You kick yourself in the face. Good morning, afternoon, or indeterminate time of day to you, my friends of the internet. Brian here, and today I want to give you my impressions on the Transformers Titan Return Skullsmasher and Grax figures. So this is the newest wave and newest gimmick for the Transformers for 2017, Headmasters. And kicking off is the alligator straight from Florida. Hey, he comes with a card, which has the artwork featured on the box, and looks kind of cool. I approve of this. He's got text specs on the back with the names of himself and his headmaster. So, yay, it's a card. Speaking of his headmaster, he has a little guy hidden inside of him, as we all do. Get out of yourself! So, here is your little headmaster. His name is Grax. Say hi, Grax. Hi, I'm Grax. Let's get you a close-up of this little man. Oh, he's little man. He's got some nice sculpting on his chest. I like that chest design. I think he's supposed to have a visor, but I'm not certain, because they definitely painted his nose. But I think the sculpting in some of the pictures show him with a visor. Hey, there's the back. Oh no, wait, maybe this is supposed to be a visor. I don't know. He doesn't really have too much paint on him in his robot mode. For articulation for all of these guys, the head is on a ball joint. The arms are on a ball joint, but that's practically useless. It just allows them to go forward and kind of a smidge outward. And then up, you can go about that far on this guy. He gets caught on that little notch there. His legs are on a pin joint right there and move as one. So you can go up that far, you can go back that far, which is not very far. His knees are on the same dealie. So you can go back that far and they can go forward to kick himself in the face. Because that's what you do when you become a head. You kick yourself in the face. Because how has my life become this? I don't know what's going on. Anyway. So there's his head mode, but hey, let's put him back in robot mode. There we go. Done. Live transformations. Let's bring in some other headmasters so you guys can see what they all look like together. Alright, so we've got Fraxis from Scourge. We've got Grax from Skullsmasher here. We've got Furos from Hardhead, and we've got Hyperfire from Blurr. We've got Nightstick, I almost call him Beat, from the Battle in Space Cyclonus set, and we've got Minimus Ambus here from the Combiner Wars Ultra Magnus. These guys are small. They're small. But they're all about the same size, so pretty decent, pretty good to keep them all in scale. I kind of like that. One of the cool things about this Titans Return line, though, is that they are really trying to integrate as many headmasters as possible into this. So you can take Grax here, put him into the piloting position for his giant alligator of death and Disney World fun, and put him into his cockpit, and then you can take the tail of Skullsmasher here, and as far as I can tell, this is the only place you can do it. Yeah, the only place you can put this, but turn it upside down and put it there, and then you can take Francis here from Scourge, put him into, some sort of sitting position? Is that needed? Yeah, I think so. Yep, and there you go. Put Francis into the tail to shoot backwards, or I suppose you could have him facing forward. I don't think you can have him facing forward. If there's another place you can put this, please let me know. I can't find any other place on this guy, and the instructions I couldn't find any either. So that is actually kind of a cool play pattern, that each of the deluxes are giving you two options for headmaster positions. I'll say that's cool. And speaking of little Grax's compartment here, this piece is soft rubber. So I kind of like that because it made it so I didn't have to worry about getting something in there to get this flap open. I could just actually push it in and pull it out. It made it more resilient to me to get this guy out. The interior of this guy actually is kind of cool. It's got a bit of a screen in there. I'm tempted to if I were to do more with these headmasters, I'm tempted I might paint the interior of that a bit, but I don't think I'm going to. So here's Skullsmasher himself. He's kind of long, mostly because of the big tail, and since it's on a post, you can swivel it, and then it'll pop off like that. He does have kind of a waist swivels, but that's not really going to be too useful, I don't think. These hind legs suck. These are just awful and horrible. Basically, in order to get them standing, you have to basically just put them there, and that's where they go for robot mode, so they might as well have just been molded into this and then painted, I guess. Just, they suck. I don't know why they're on, what, they're on ball joints, I think? Yeah, they're on ball joints. But you can't do anything with them. Like, you can kind of do that, but that doesn't really look very good. You can't really get it out very far. Okay, maybe you can get it out a little bit, but still, it's like, this leg is almost practically useless, and it frustrates me. His front arms, though, have some good articulation. You've got a swivel right there, and you've got an elbow, and then you've got a swivel right beneath it. And then his toes can wave, Hi, I'm on TV, yay! So, he's got some good articulation on his front arms, legs, whatever these are, things. I studied biology. His head, though, is glorious. I love this crocodile head. It's on a ball joint. Actually, in the package, it comes separate, so you have to put the ball joint on, but, you know, it's popping a ball joint. Yep, sorry. I knocked you guys, I'm sorry. It's just popping a ball joint on, so it's really kind of simple. Bam, there you go. And then when you do, he's got a very articulated... Oh, I unplugged this a bit. He's got a very articulated head. I love this head. This is a very nice head. The paint on this is just glorious. It is a very nicely... Like, to just set this down and see it as a crocodile is kind of cool. Is it crocodile or alligator? Someone let me know, because I keep forgetting to look. I know there's a difference. I just remember what that difference is off the top of my head. His mouth opens, and that's kind of cool. He's got a very cool little tongue. Well, it's not a little tongue, but he's got a cool tongue. I love the cyber ridging that's on it. And having dealt with a number of third-party toys lately, I'm kind of glad these teeth are the soft, bendable plastic. The tongue, I think, is hard. I could be wrong, but, you know, it doesn't seem all that squishy. But the teeth are definitely... Well, since it's all one piece, it seems the tongue has to be the same material. But the teeth are definitely nice and soft and child-friendly, and I'm actually kind of grateful for that, because I've had some figures recently kind of hurt me. I'm looking at you, Triton. She has sharp teeth. So there is his vehicle mode, his alligator mode. I am sure at some point somebody is going to repaint this to be Optimus Prime colors because of that one episode of G1. Somebody's going to do it. If not a fan or a Radicon from the TFW boards, then someone at, like, well, I would say BotCon, but that's currently up in the air about what's going to happen for 2017. But let's do some size comparisons, shall we? Let's start off with the Combiner Wars Hound, who is the Swerve/Rook mold. Yeah, he's longer. Skullsmasher is longer because of the tail. And the head, too. Like, if the two parts that were separated are the head and the tail. So if you take that, it's actually about the same size. But I kind of like how long this guy is. He's got some presence to him. I've got Nightbeat, who was, I believe, a headmaster in the series that these guys are from. This is the Generations Nightbeat, which was a repaint of Bumblebee. And I'm just going to keep messing with his head, because I love his head so much. It's just, like, so much expression. Like, huh? What's going on? What's going on? Can I eat it? I wanted to open your mouth. Can I eat it? Can I eat it? Anyway. Sorry, I'm a child. I don't know what I'm doing, so just, you know, ignore the man-child. I don't have Chromia with me, but I do have Prid RC, who is the same mold, so that's how she would compare to that mold, which is fairly ubiquitous, I would hope. But let's compare him to his wave mates, and he is definitely going to be the biggest of them, because he is long. The other guys are about the same size. Knocking people over or around, because they're not falling over. So yeah, Skullsmasher is by far the most voluminous. He has the most volume, which is what voluminous means, Brian. Yeah, good job. But that's, again, because of the head and the tail. So, compared to everybody else, he looks bigger. Altogether, these guys do look pretty good. They do look like they are a line, are a wave together. So, I'm not opposed to them sitting in a shelf together. I do believe that is basically everything there is to say about his alligator mode, crocodile mode, whichever. He does have some cool paint apps too. I do like the swilver with the fraction symbol. The silver with the fraction. No, faction. I can't speak. I am a bad person. I do like the faction symbol on the side. I love the faction symbol on his head, which you can't see at the moment. There you go. It's a very nice. Actually, let's give you a close-up of the head sculpt. Did I? I don't know if I did. There's another close-up of the head sculpt if I did. Ah! I love this head. It's so nice and fun. And fun and nice. That's the best part about this figure to me is the head. Spoilers. But anyway, there is everything I think I have to say about his crocodile / reptile / animal mode, beast mode. What do you say we get him into his robot mode and see how I feel about him there? No? You don't want to? That's kind of weird. I'm surprised you guys don't want me to go to robot mode. Okay, well then I guess I'll just say goodbye. Nope, we're going to robot mode. Wrong. Poor Minimus Ambus. A number of fans hate you. What does Skullsmasher have against Minimus Ambus? Jeez. Alright, and bam, here he is in his robot mode. And as far as weapon storage, the only place I can figure out for the weapon storage is actually like just putting it in his hand or flipping up this little handle and plugging it in on his arm. Which, okay, that didn't work. Plugging in on his arm, come on, which looks dumb, or plugging it into this little port on the back of his head, and that makes his backpack freaking huge. So I don't like doing that. But for the gun itself, you actually can take the small gun out. Alright, got it out. So, yeah, you can plug it in there. I plugged it in basically as soon as I got it and haven't really touched it since. This is a 5mm port gun though, so if you want him to have a small weapon, you can do that. But it still leaves you with the giant mess of tail that there is nothing to do with it. I would have liked it if this tail hadn't been a separate piece and could be like part of this assembly, because then that could fill in this whole leg rather nicely. But nope. So I just basically am going to put this back in his tail and then set it off to the side and forget about it for the rest of the video probably. So let's get through his articulation. Well, first off, head sculpt. I think I already showed you guys it, but there's the nice head sculpt. I don't know how I feel. It looks like his eyes are really small, but I also kind of like it. I don't know how I feel about this head sculpt. I keep going back and forth. But it's can swivel around, can move just ever so slightly. His arms are on a swivel thanks to transformation, and then a ball joint so you can spin them all around like a record baby. So you can get a little bit of outward movement because of that transformation joint, but other than that, you can't really get anything out. They don't have any sort of cut or anything that allow you to get it out. And it is a ball joint, so it's like kind of sad that they couldn't have engineered something to let you go get the arm out better than this, I guess. He's still got the bicep swivel right up there. He's got an elbow, which gives you 90 degrees, and then he's got a lower bicep swivel. His hand is on a swivel for transformation, so you can go in and out, but that's it. He has a waist joint, so yay, not all these guys do, so that's nice that he does. He has a ball jointed hip, so that allows his leg to go forward that much, backwards all the way, outward a very nice way. He's got a thigh swivel, which allows him to swivel at the thigh. He's got a knee joint that allows him 90 degrees, and if you want to untransform him a bit, you can start doing the transformation and get a double jointed knee out of it, but it unlocks the kneecap thingy, which does click in like that. His toes exist and can wiggle, and then his feet are basically kind of hollow and worthless. I have a huge problem with mine that his legs are so loose that they're almost useless. Just getting him to stand. Of course, the first time I set him down, he doesn't immediately fall over, but these legs just are super loose. And these knees, well, again, he's proving me wrong, but most of the time the knees are well, this one especially, that comes apart very easily. Just trying to bend the knee. Nope. Try to bend the knee. Nope. So getting him to stand And the fact that he doesn't actually have feet sucks. And he's a bit back heavy because of the crocodile head. So I am not a fan of his legs. So I actually find it amusing that I don't like the back legs. I don't like his actual legs. This is kind of like some good symmetry that on this guy. Alright, for some size comparisons, we've got Nightbeat, who is another headmaster from that era. This is the Generations one that we saw earlier, so he's not actually a headmaster, but the character was a contemporary. I've got my yardstick of the Prid RC mold, and this time in the actual Prid RC. So he's a bit taller, actually, yeah. I've got Combiner Wars Hound, so he is basically the exact same height as the last year's deluxes. Kind of why not? There is Generation Springer, who, yeah, bit taller, yeah, he's a Voyager. But let's bring in his wave mates so you can see the entire first wave of Titans Return Headmaster dudes. And they are all the same size. And yeah, as headmasters, as Titan Masters, all of their heads can come off. And you can swap them around. However, I have, with Skullcruncher especially, I put Scourge's head on him, and when I tried taking the head off, the headmaster's head stayed in the socket, and it took a little bit of doing to try and get it out. So I am very, very cautious of how I put things in this guy's, especially this one. The other ones I haven't had too much of an issue with, but especially for Skullsmasher, yeah. Skullsmasher, and this is Grax. Yes, that is who they are. So I pay attention to the orientation, and I try to, I think the back of this guy's head of Hyperfire, yeah, Hyperfire's head goes this way, I think. You know, I'm not going to use Hyperfire. I'm going to use Scourge, who I know how to put him in nicely. Yeah, this one is definitely the back of the head towards there, so there, like that. And then I have to spin them around like a record, baby. So yeah, you can totally start swapping heads around, and in other videos I show other combinations you can do besides this. This Skullsmasher is just the one that I find the scary to do. But you can swap any of these heads around because they're all interchangeable, so that's actually kind of cool. So as a customizer, if I find a head that I like and want to put it on my body, that is kind of cool, but it's still a little tiny person, so I don't like that. Alright, so I guess that kind of leads into my final thoughts on Skullsmasher and Grax here. I am not a fan of headmasters. I have always found the concept to be silly and just kind of dumb to me. So I was really going to skip this entire wave, but on a whim, Ian dragged me to Toys R Us, and I'm like, oh, I'm not going to buy anything. And Toys R Us always has ridiculous prices for Transformers anyway. But lo and behold, there was this entire wave, and then I checked this price on them, and they were actually regular retail price of $17. So I'm like, oh, okay, fine. I'm using this as an excuse to try out the wave, try out the gimmick for the year. And my opinion on the gimmick itself, on the Headmaster gimmick, like I said, I like that they're integrating Headmasters into the vehicles a bit. But I don't like Headmasters. I still think it's silly. I think these guys look kind of dumb. I don't like Headmasters. I don't think I'm going to be buying too many of these Headmasters, which, you know, is good for my wallet. It means I can buy more third-party figures. But yeah, that's just not... It's not grabbing me. I will say, though, that having gone through a year with Combiner Wars figures and the kind of engineering of them, they're all basically the same engineering. You have to pull off 3 or 4 modes, depending on who they are. It is kind of nice to get back to a line that is just about going from robot to vehicle mode. And I am really kind of like, on the transformation itself, I actually really like the transformation on this guy. So it's kind of a nice return to a style of Transformer Deluxes that I hadn't really had from the mainline Deluxes for the past year, and didn't realize I was missing. So when I actually was messing around with them, I was having more fun than I expected with this guy. And all of these guys, actually, to be honest. But... yeah, Skullsmasher here, my opinion of him is really kind of flavored by my super weak knees. The crocodile mode looks amazing, so he'll probably live in that. I like that I can kind of ignore his headmaster and just put it in there. I can't ignore the headmaster completely. I wouldn't be able to like replace it because the shoulders have to go up here, and then this has to pull down for alt mode, for beast mode. And there's no way you'd be able to really do that with the head there. So the way this guy's engineered, you wouldn't really be able to do it. I suppose you could have done something with this hinge and put the head like on a hinge and had that hinge flip down. I guess. I don't know. I'm sure they could have engineered something differently, but this is not for me. I don't really like this guy too drastically much. I'm going to tighten up his legs. Maybe my opinion of him will improve. I don't like his feet at all. Yeah. If this guy were destroyed in a fire, I would not replace him. So there's my final thoughts on Skullsmasher and Grax. I am curious to know what you guys think about them, though. How do you guys feel about the Headmasters? What makes you guys like the Headmasters? Let me know so that you can try to convince me and change my mind of them. Until next time, guys, I want to say thank you so much to those of you guys who have subscribed to us and spread the word about us. You're the reason our channel keeps growing, and you're the best audience we could possibly hope for. We love you so much. Thank you so much. Until next time, guys, may all your crocodiles be Predacons. Bye. Chomp, 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 chomp.